Alright guys, this is Michael with another Championship Manager update. And yeah, I'll let you in on the bad news first. Um, Effectively, we didn't win the championship last season because we had a shocker of the second half of the season. Because that's kind of what we do. We get injured, we get suspended, and occasionally we get shit. So poor form combined with poor luck just kind of took us out of it. We're looking at Jesus Martinez here because he's a Scottish international with a very Spanish name. Yeah, I just got really taken aback by when this guy's name popped up. I was actually scouting let's say, Chris Kelly. This guy is the one new signing that I've brought in this season. Actually, no, there's two. Chris being kind of, yep. See his form there, it's all sixes. Everything still looks good, and I like when defenders have a bit of pace about them because it means that theoretically they can chase after their own mistakes. And he's been kind of okay, maybe. Excuse me. Yeah, and it's been another recurring theme about our defence. Marvin Andrews actually had a good season. Joe Dolan's been reasonably good, but he's also been, you see there, he's kind of indifferent. So it's that age-old conundrum of defence, and I'm kind of tired of trying to fix it. So what I'm going to do instead is just rely on youth to bail us out. And he looks okay, kind of. Excuse me. Sorry for your eardrums there. Yeah, so last season, bit of a letdown, but we did finish fifth, which meant we got into the UEFA Cup. Which means if I have a cup run or two, and as well as that, I'm going to have a very tired season. And tired season I didn't have. You see there, I've finished the current season, by the way, and we've finished fourth in the Premier League, which is amazing. We did lead for about a day, and at the halfway stage we'd had like 3 defeats. I was fearing like a second half collapse like the season beforehand, but we held it together long enough to finish in the Champions League spots. Yeah, not too far off Liverpool, but they were out of sight really. I wanted to chase them down, and we did a good go of it really. A few records that are coming this season. Highest attendance. This came about the start of or the end of last season. I thought we've got a new record of like average attendance, so why not see if we can expand the stadium? Freddie Shepherd came back to me and he said, yeah, 16,000 more seats, which is ridiculous. It means that we have the biggest stadium in the Premier League, I think. I don't think Man United have hit 70 yet, have they? Sure, let's have a look. No. So we're kind of comfortably the largest ground in the country if you ignore New Wembley, which I think is 80. So that's kind of ridiculous, and it led to some really weird attendances, because we'd have 10,000 empty seats because the fans just were like, there's not enough day trippers to fill that out, to be honest. Um, but yeah, they turned up for a Man United match and really filled the place out. In fact, they filled the place out twice. Um, there was a derby match as well that didn't go our way, but we made quite a lot of money from it, so that'll do. I just it shocked me that we'd get 16,000 more seats. I was expecting maybe just a couple more. Um, but yeah, it's not quite limited wealth, but it's a lot. Um, yeah, so let's go back to the records again. And there was a new one this season. 17 games unbeaten. And this was the whole reason that we finished fourth, really. We went absolutely nuts. I think about 11 of them were straight victories. And the rest were kind of draws. And we did lose out a little bit. I think we lost one match in like the run-in for the end of the season. Sorry, we lost two. Sorry, yeah, because Leeds beat us as well. But that was a nothing game really, because we'd already consolidated fourth. And you'll notice that we've had a couple of cup runs there, two finals. And this was part of the reason why we had a massive run, is just because we had so many cup games and we were doing enough to win them or not lose them. And look at this. I was looking at the League Cup and thinking that there were too many big teams in it that might actually cause problems. Excuse me. Oh, what a name for a ref. John Strong. Yeah. And just very surprised. I actually might as well mention, yeah. I mentioned before there was a second player that I brought in, a Welshman by the name of Matthew Edwards. He is, I think he's Mark Hughes' regen. With those positions, it looks like he is basically Mark Hughes, which is great. Brought him in just because he was there and he was free, and he's given Carrick a bit of competition, which is good when you've got so many games. So I was kind of alternating between him and Michael Carrick. And you know, he's a free transfer, and you can't really argue against that. I was actually wondering if I could use him as a striker, but he's not really. He's not the one to kind of put the chance of the way. He's probably going to score more goals from midfield. Oh, 3 goals all season for Michael Jack. He's going through a difficult time, but at least you know he played his part in getting us to Wembley. So yeah, he's got personal problems, so I could give him leave of absences. I've given one so far, but I think once he's like that, it's time for him to move on. So we'll see if anybody goes for that. He still looks really good. He's got 20s in some of the right places. And then Anthony Chandran, his best season for us, 39 goals. He will chase down Alan Shearer's record, but the thing is, I look at him and I know there's better strikers, but he's still doing it, and I don't know why. Because he can't really move, can he? Well, he's got pace, but he can't really move quickly with it. I don't understand how lone strikers work, but you know, worked out. Um, Morgan Andrews actually putting in a good performance. I'll mention as well the emergence of this lad, Malcolm Kelly. He's been, you know, when you have young players in your squad and you don't really look at them, but when you do, you realise, hang on, they've actually turned out really good. Because that's what's happened here. I wonder if he's Warren Barton's regen. Hang on. Is Warren Barton still around? Because if he's coming like a few... Yeah, that was dumb. But I'm not going to play it as well, so that's even dumber, right? Alright, he's clearly doing something else. But I don't know, I'm just looking at his positions. And I'm just wondering. 20 for aggression, I don't know. Maybe it's him, maybe it's Warren Barton. But he's emerged quite well. Fitness is not great, but I suppose when you're young it's okay because you've got alternatives on the bench that you can use. Marker continued to be pretty consistent at what he does. Try and have a look here. So yeah, we made it to Wembley again, and we also got the UEFA Cup final, which was astonishing. Mainly because after the break we drew some serious competitors. So we get some shock results. Michael Jack as well. Man, I really hope he goes on to do something. Cause man, he's like, I've got a soft spot for him. I probably should have used him more, but when I do use him, he does perform. Same can be said. Well, Daniel Jensen's had his best season for us. Scored 19 goals, fair enough. 6 of those were penalties, but he ran foul of the board because his agent was trying to stoke up some transfer rumours, and luckily he stayed put. Nothing came of those, and he had a tremendous season. I was playing them kind of in spite of those protests from the board as well, because I feel like he's just too good to leave out. So we took on Bayern, then we took on Sampdoria, who really gave us some trouble. But I mean, we got lucky in that their sending off set up that match, and we did the damage late in the first half and early in the second. Is this Sango's best season for us as well? It is almost. He scored. No, he's not. Nah, not even close, to be honest. Because, well, his first season he scored more goals for us, but that was cool. See what I mean, though, about the attendances? The game doesn't quite know what to do. So you'll have like 10,000 empty seats for a UEFA Cup quarter-final first leg. How did the semi-final go? Yeah, and again, from after Sampdoria, we get Real Madrid. And it was terrifying, because, like, I never expected to go past this. But also as well, because Chandran got injured as well, so Colcourt had to come in. And he's done well this season as a sub. That's kind of how I'm going to have to use Court and Chopra. Chopra's contract at the moment is unprotected, and I think I'm just going to let whatever happens. Yeah, it's been a really weird season. I mentioned in our last video we had a bit of a monopoly on young goalkeepers to the point where I'm really having to make hard decisions. Um, Michael Miller came into the side after um, James Hargreaves got a 6-match suspension because he decided to get sent off and then in the next match get sent off again. Um, so that gave young Michael a run in the squad, and it's going to be real interesting to see who I'm going to favour in the coming months. I'll also mention Shea Gibbons is also still part of the squad as well because he's wound up being pretty decent at 33. But yeah, check out the first final. That's a rarity, a win on penalties. Hang on, how old is Scholes? That's 34. Right. And he's available on a free, oh my word. Could be tempted. Could be tempted. Gary Neville's still going as well. But yeah, maintaining our 100% record in finals, we beat Man United for a second time at Wembley and get my third trophy. Because I'll count the Charity Shield because it's there to be won. I was actually expecting something easier, like when Kufuor got sent off. But bit of a shame that. And again, yeah, this was a bit of a concern. Like I'd be rotating the two goalkeepers, and then it'd suddenly take turns to be suspect. But Michael Miller obviously turned out a hero. And then, yeah, that's right. I was going to look at the attendance then. Say even then, it must be a midweek thing. Actually, yeah, it will be. Midweek games don't tend to fill out, so but still 54,000 is more than what we had last season. And yeah, the run just kept rolling on till let's see, yeah, till Birmingham, and that's a bit of a shame, but it was always going to happen, and it was always going to happen against a team that was at the wrong end of the table. But you know, especially with Shadrin out of action as well. But yeah, this is the match that secured us 4th place. An absolutely terrifying 6-1 win where every attack seemed to result in a goal for us, which is great. Freddie Kinnuti coming back into the side. With Zongo being whatever nationality he is, he tends to get a lot of unfortunate international breaks. And yeah, you see Freddie Kinnuti went. He basically came into the side really late, but I wasn't playing him much, and I thought, well, I might as well let him go. And he still looks like he's in good nick. It's just that he's not really going to get much time on the pitch. But yeah, reasonably happy with the season. Real shame we didn't finish the job in Europe, but it's Juventus. We had a bit of a late fight back, but against the Italians, they'll just defend for their lives, and they did. So there you go. And then at the end, Leeds could have finished. Well, Leeds couldn't actually have finished 4th because we'd secured it already. So whatever. So yeah, it's been a reasonably good season. Our best league finish, 76. Is that a record for goals scored? Um, the year previous we'd finished up as the top scorers for the league as well. So, yep, 2 years running we've done that. And I think that's level with the record, I think. It is. Another record as well that came along. Nicolas Davizas is now the... Where's he gone? There he is. He's had well, he's just got old very quickly. So his fortunes have kind of collapsed a bit. But he is now the record appearance holder for us. Oh, and it only counts league appearances, that's why I don't like it. Right. That's terrible. Is there a way to find, like... No, I think it is literally just, it's just league appearances, which is a terrible way to track your statistics. We've got a couple of guys out on loan as well. Mark Cobb, who I thought was going to be the right back that did make the grade. He's went out to Northampton. And Steve Wharton, the goalkeeper that I thought was going to make the grade as well, has gone out. So we've still got that competition going. And we've also got this guy who I quite like the look of. Yeah, so we're getting positions where we're kind of spoiled for choice in terms of young talent. I should probably not have Michael Chopper on loan. I'm actually quite surprised that we got a couple of loan offers in. I'm going to let this guy go. He's got some decent stats, but not in the parts where it matters. If his passing was a bit better, then maybe. But he might do well elsewhere. Man, that's kind of the season in a nutshell. We've had a good one, and we haven't had long to wait for our next trophy. We should get a record average attendance with the new stadium, and you know, it is what it is. Also, Alan Shearer eventually retired, retiring at around Hughes. I wonder if he wound up their top scorer. Okay, that's bizarre. How do you get a defensive midfielder that scores that many goals? Oh well, Alan Shearer, the oldest player. He didn't really do much there, which is a bit of a shame. And he started there as a coach, and now he's at Man City. So you presume he's going to make a march at the management at some point. But then stranger things have happened. So yeah, in terms of like, we only made those two transfers, and I'm kind of slowing down that kind of movement on the market front, just because I don't want to go nuts. And I'm in the situation where my chairman's very happy with us. He's surprisingly patient, and I'm arguably the greatest Newcastle manager ever. Although some would argue that like Stan Seymour's two FA Cups kind of eclipse my FA Cup and my League Cup. but I won't, because I won that shit. Another record as well, high scoring game. I don't know what was going on here, but Chandran bailed us out because that's what he does. I mean, look at that, man. It must be the determination stat. Like, he's so determined. But it's worked out alright. And again, it's a weird thing where we won the FA Cup, like, we won the FA Cup, how many years? 60 years after our last one. And then 40 years on from the first cup win, we weren't really anywhere near winning the UEFA Cup, to be honest, not in that match. But we finished a respectable second, which is nuts. So we'll see how long this can continue. I will say as well, at the start of the season, I thought it was done for. Didn't get our first win till the fourth match, and then all of a sudden went on a little unbeaten run. We went top for about a day, and it's progress. It's a new highest finish for us in a league that's very topsy-turvy. Reigning champions Chelsea finishing way off in fifth. Leeds finishing sixth, but also going to a UEFA Champions League final. Sorry. Hang on a minute. Highest league? They've never won the league. The mighty Leeds have never won the league. What the heck? Goodness. Right. Okay. And yet they win tons of cups. John Toshak. How come he's amazing in this, but in reality he's sort of like Roy Hodgson? I thought kind of, they won the Champions League as well. Jeez. I think I'm far enough in the future as well to possibly think about doing a video on where everybody is and seeing kind of the state of the world. I've got other leagues open. I've got Germany, Italy, and Spain open. Yeah, and I might do that at some point. I was thinking about doing that in 2016, but that feels like a while off. Granted, I'm getting through like 2 seasons a weekend, but still. And that's probably it. Not much else to show you unless with my UEFA Cup exploits, I've now moved up slightly in terms of reputation. Overall match record hovering around 50%, which I guess I'm fine with. Oh man, Co-Adriance, that's just ridiculous. Period of current club, look at that. Still nowhere near. Glenn Hoddle, has he been Spurs manager the whole game? He has, hasn't he? I bet he has. Very bizarre. Yeah. I think I'll hop up. Because Alan Kirbishley is still going strong, and he's just got relegated with Charlton, but nobody seems to care, which is great. Such absolute loyalty. And I mean, the reality is it would have fallen apart for him, wasn't it? When him and Alan Pardew swapped jobs. Nigel Clough's still at Burton Albion as well. I think that's the thing. It's the lower down the leagues you get, the less likely the AI is to sack managers. Is Dario? Oh, he's not, is he? Alright, I think he's retired. Which means his regen is going to be roaming the job market somewhere. Yeah. And that'll about do it. So we've got Champions League to look forward to next season. Which I don't know if it's going to be better or worse than the UEFA Cup, because you've got 12 games to play with that stupid 2 group format, which is weird. But we'll make so much money, guys. We'll make so much money. And we'll see what happens with the squad. Again, I'm kind of happy with them. About as happy as I can be with a club that's kind of hovering around greatness but not really achieving it. So yeah, let's just see how that goes. So I'll see you next time. Ta-ra for now.